In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what anxiety is, where it comes from, but most importantly, how you can manage it in such a way that actually works for you. Because right now, anxiety is one of the most diagnosed mental health conditions in the world, and anti-anxiety medication is one of the most prescribed. So clearly something's going on here. But what if I told you that anxiety isn't actually the problem? What if I told you that anxiety is actually trying to help you, but you've just been taught how to interpret it the wrong way? Because here's the truth. Anxiety is not something that you want to eliminate. It's something that you want to understand, reframe, and then learn to channel to use it productively. At its core, anxiety is a generalized fear, and it's rooted in trying to control essentially an uncontrollable future. It stems from uncertainty, fear of the unknown, and the mind trying to control and predict what might occur. That's why anxiety often shows up as incessant worrying and constant overthinking. Your mind starts creating all the what ifs and worst case scenarios, and then your body reacts as if it's real. There's a powerful quote by Peter Crone that captures this perfectly. He says that you're not afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of what your mind places in the unknown. And that's totally different. I actually have a bit of a controversial opinion on anxiety, but hear me out. I think we've been conditioned to believe that we shouldn't feel anxiety and that something's wrong if we do. I don't know where that idea comes from, but look around at the natural world around us. If you've ever stopped to observe a deer in the field or a rabbit in the forest, they're constantly on high alert. They're scanning their environment for potential threats. Why? Because a certain level of anxiety helps keep them alive. Now, don't get me wrong, too much anxiety can be debilitating, but a little bit is not only normal, it's actually helpful. So here's what you do. Number one, name it. There's a principle in psychology that says name it to tame it. When you put a label on what you're feeling, you create some psychological distance between you and the emotion. And instead of being consumed by it, you become the observer of it. But here's where it gets even more powerful. They say that I am are the two most powerful words in the English language, because whatever you place after them will come to define you and your destiny. And as humans, we have a natural tendency to internalize how we feel and turn a temporary state into a part of our identity. So when we say things like, I'm anxious or my identity, it subtly implies ownership. And what do we do with things that we own? We protect them. We hold them close. Now that emotion isn't just something you're experiencing, it's something that you believe is a part of you. When truthfully, your emotions are more like the weather patterns. They come and they go. And when you're anxious, your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, it's firing. But the moment you label the feeling, this is anxiety, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's responsible for logic and rational thinking. And that simple act starts to calm that emotional response. So instead of saying, I'm anxious or my anxiety, shift to saying, I'm feeling some anxiety. Not who you are, just a temporary emotional state. It might seem small, but it's actually a powerful shift. Or better yet, reframe anxiety. You see, most people don't understand this, but your body cannot tell the difference between anxiety and excitement. Physiologically speaking, it's the same thing. Racing heart, heightened focus, increased energy. Your body is simply preparing you to perform. The only difference is the label that you give it. One interpretation is, something's wrong. The other is, all right, I'm ready. So instead of saying, I'm anxious, try, I'm excited. Next, take action. When it comes to anxiety, action is the antidote. You see, anxiety thrives in inaction and overthinking. But the moment you move, clarity, confidence, and control start to set in. And four, control the controllables. A lot of anxiety comes from trying to control things that aren't actually within your control. And there's a powerful line that's helped me for years. Grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Most people do the exact opposite. They try to control everything outside of them and avoid the very things that are within their control. So ask yourself, what's within my control? What's not? And then act accordingly. Number five, build self-trust. Underneath it all, anxiety often comes from a lack of self-trust, a lack of belief that no matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it. Think about it like this. A bird sitting on a branch isn't confident in the branch. It's confident in its ability to fly. And it knows that even if the branch breaks, it'll still be okay. Anxiety decreases when self-confidence increases. Not confidence that everything will go perfectly, but confidence that even if it doesn't, you'll still figure it out. Either you'll find a way or you'll make a way. And number 6, come back to the present moment because anxiety lives in the future. It's your mind projecting all the what ifs, worst case scenarios, and imagining things that haven't even happened. Simple but powerful question you can ask is, what needs to change right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And most of the time, the answer to that is nothing. In this moment, you're okay. You're safe. You're breathing. You're here. What this does is pulls your attention out of the future and brings it back to the present moment. And in this moment, more often than not, things are manageable. Now, that doesn't mean that you ignore responsibility or stop planning for the future. It just means that you stop living. Because peace isn't found in trying to control every aspect of the future. It's found in being right here, right now. And when you do what you have to do today, the future will take care of itself. But there's also some very practical things that make a huge difference. Researcher from sleep scientist Dr. Matthew Walker shows that getting at least 8 hours of sleep is critical for emotional regulation. In fact, studies show that even one night of poor quality sleep can increase emotional reactivity, making you 60% more susceptible to stress and anxiety. Caffeine too. And look, I'm a coffee fiend, but caffeine stimulates your nervous system. And if you're already anxious, coffee, caffeine, or energy drinks can amplify those symptoms. You don't necessarily have to cut it out, but be intentional with how much you consume. And exercise. It's a great way to burn off stress, regulate your nervous system, and manage your emotions. People think that I'm disciplined when it comes to exercise. The truth is I do it mostly for stress management and emotional regulation. Lastly, slow, controlled breathing is a powerful tool that signals safety to your brain and body. Something as simple as inhaling for 4 and slowly exhaling for 6 can be enough to calm your nervous system down. It's like a nervous system reset. At the end of the day, anxiety is not your enemy. It's a response to uncertainty, and it's actually your ally. The goal is not to eliminate it. It's to understand it and work with it and build a kind of mindset that you know that even if things don't go according to plan, you'll still be okay. Because that's where real power lies. That's freedom. And if you're someone who struggles with overthinking, inconsistency, or feeling stuck, make sure you subscribe for more. I've got a lot more coming to help you take control of your mindset and start showing up the way that you know that you can.